Okay, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. I am joined by a very, very special guest tonight. The legendary, the one and only, the freshest Prince of Bel-Air, Jamie Cardillo, with 2 L's, not Cardillo. Tell him, man. Welcome.
Yeah, it's Italian.
Yeah. Oh, since you're the freshest prince.
Anyway.
Since you're the freshest prince, we're gonna cue this one up with a little bit of the theme song, Bel-Air, representing Maine. Let's see what we got. Will it play? Will it play? Yeah.
Oh.
Can you hear that?
Of course.
Fresh.
I'm always hearing it. It's like soundtrack of my life.
Yeah, I heard it when it came in.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm really that cool enough to dance to it.
I know, man. I had to restrain myself, but it didn't work.
All-time favorite show though. So I had to represent first time on the
Talksploration.
Talksploration.
Yeah, man.
Appropriate attire.
Yeah, 4th of July special, I guess.
America.
America, yeah. It's gonna be a Talksploration nation. If we don't get sued for playing this and then get taken off permanently.
America.
America.
Do whatever we want whenever we want because America.
Yeah, you can't sue America.
Yeah.
It's gross. What are you?
So how long have you been an American, Kristian?
Hey, listen, buddy. Hey, the Talksplorers out there don't need to know that. Shh. Or how long it's gonna be until I change sides again, huh? Kim Jong, looking at you, buddy.
Oh,
firework.
Gosh. Oh man, now we're definitely on a list.
All the lists, man. We're Talksploring. They don't want that. The FBI's.
Our talks have no balance.
Oh.
I don't know.
Bound 2? Is that a Bound 2 request?
What?
Kanye? No.
Oh,
right? No. Alright. Listen. Oh. It cut to like a weird extended version of it with the show, so we're not playing that, alright?
Okay. Oh, right.
Have enough lawsuits. So yeah, we are in, and in this episode, we're going to cover some pretty sick TV stuff, man. I'm so pumped. I'm too pumped. Where to begin? Where to begin? I know we both have a shared history here with some of the Netflixes.
Oh my gosh, so much Netflix, man.
Yes.
All the time.
Look at the flick of the net. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. So I mean, I know you have I know
an agenda.
We want to really talk about some Arrow.
Yes.
Despite you being half the series behind on it, yep.
Look, it's what the fans want, man.
It's what they want.
Yeah.
They want the arrows.
They want the arrows. I love the arrows. Okay, yeah, we're gonna let's kick it off with Arrow. Now, I've just gotten through half of season 3. That's as far as I am, and I missed like episodes 1 and 2. So it's been like a year and a half, 2 years. I still haven't watched them. But the point is,
you didn't miss much.
I'm halfway through season 3, and it's all in flashbacks anyway. I got it. Slept with the lady's sister.
You just missed a beard that suddenly disappeared. Is basically what you.
An old beard and some sister loving. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, not his own. Two sisters. It's
a little weird because he actually does have a sister.
He does have a sister.
Definitely a little weird.
Could you imagine? Oh,
gosh.
Also, there's a wizard named Merlin in the show.
Is there? Oh wait, yeah, there is.
He's a wizard, Harry. He's Merlin.
Is that further than you actually are in the show, though?
Alright, listen. We're giving people an overview, alright? Overview.
Okay, alright.
Ultimately, oh god.
Table for what it's actually about for the Talksplore.
Right. So it's based on a DC comic called Arrow, and DC Comics is redundant, I just found out today, because it stands for Detective Comics. So if you say DC Comics, it's like Detective Comics. I didn't know that. I just found that out this morning.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so Arrow is basically this like rich playboy dude who in the show he's trapped on an island. There's like a boat that goes overboard, or there's a storm, and his dad is like I'm bad at this.
It basically eats the ship and his dad.
Yes, we think.
And this other girl.
Yeah.
Who was that other girl?
No, and she becomes a mermaid
Or something. Like, some sort of creature.
Some kind of feminine creature. And then on the island, there's these mercenaries who are like warring for control, and they're looking for some long lost mutagen viral injection thing that gives you like dark Witcher 3 powers or something.
And while all of that sounds so awesome, and it should just focus on that all the time, it's mostly just
soap opera.
Mostly just Ollie, the main guy, just beefing with family, and it's just soap opera. Geez, it's been so long. So many things have been left unresolved.
Flashback.
And a little flashback of cool stuff.
Yeah, always, like every episode. I loved it though. There were like 50 flashbacks an episode, and I needed more. I couldn't stop. But there's something important happens to him on the island that kind of sets the whole show in motion and all of his connections and future problems. He meets a mentor, does he not, on this island?
He does.
Yes, this mentor.
All about the magic of bow archery. Which is something that is another redundant thing, because
redundancy
comics, we have to be a little bit redundant.
Yeah.
Bow archery
from Kid Slade.
That's a little bit of season 2 setting it up, but yeah, it's really just
Ollie gets slayed. To put it in no like mixed terms, he gets slayed hardcore.
He gets so slayed.
Slayed. Kid. So he gets this training, right? And of course, like every comic book hero, he has to have the training and the mentor. And there's, some things go wrong, not to spoil a lot of the plot. You'll probably hear a little bit of spoilers in this talk. There's a lot of TV we're hoping to cover. But so he becomes the hero, and he goes back to Starling City at the time. It's just a little starling. I'm gonna gobble it up. So yummy. It's totally.
Is starling a bird?
I guess. Yeah, maybe, right? A starling.
Eating birds now, Kristian?
I'm lonely.
Sort of thing you do in Maine, I guess.
Yeah, I got a tiger in the back, man. He eats birds. But so he goes back to his little bird city, and he starts fighting crime and telling people that they failed and fixing his dad's mistakes. And we meet Merlin, who's not a magician. Not really.
Hey, I want to back up real quick to that whole fixing failing the city and all of that.
Yeah.
They really set Arrow apart from other shows, superhero shows particularly.
Yeah.
He was actually killing people. He was a murderer, basically. He murdered people who deserved it. I mean, a little bit of hardcore vigilantism. A little bit of Punisher thrown in there, probably, but
it feels a lot like the Punisher movies, or a couple of those movies where he just pays back crime, no holds barred.
And I don't know if you're aware, but Punisher is actually getting his own Netflix show now.
No way!
After his awesome appearance on Daredevil.
Wow.
Played by the same guy, can't remember his name, but played Shane on the first couple of seasons of The Walking Dead.
Shane, rubbing his head.
He's a lot like...
Coral.
No.
Well, Thank God.
Coral did try to be a lot like him.
F that kid. No, I don't like that guy, man.
Fuck my dad. I'm all about Shane. But,
Pardon my French, but I don't like Coral. Okay? I don't like it. It's reefy. It's in the ocean. There's nothing good about Coral. Sorry.
There's nothing good about Coral at all.
Yeah. His dad hates him. But yes, we should actually address The Walking Dead. But Arrow, overall, I was absolutely in love with the show after you showed me all the martial arts that are in it. And that's what we're getting. It's just martial arts, period.
There's a lot of choreographed scenes.
Yeah.
Some of it borders on a little bit of soft stuff, like, oh, you tapped his shoulder, he fell down. But you know what? As a whole...
Yeah, there's a lot of stunts.
Very well.
Yeah, a lot of good stunt work, except there's something funny we should mention. I think it's season 3, right? They start to border on the more like campy comic booky side where they'll shoot a magnetic arrow and suddenly all the guns will get drawn to it,
Oh,
but they're wearing like so much metal armor, no effect.
the best scene, the greatest scene.
Oh my god, I wish there was some way to cue that up without getting I don't know, flagged or something, but whoosh.
They all moved so suddenly. Too.
Yes. Oh my god, and of course, for all the ladies out there, for all the guys, there's a fair amount of femme fatales and like gorgeous women paraded about. But for the ladies, I mean, Ollie's not that bad looking. He's kind of rugged, He gets some haircuts, which is hot, I guess. But more importantly, we have a very, very special guest, not guest, I guess, star of the show, who appears halfway through season 1, later in season 1, Roy Tatum.
Roy Tatum, as we like to call him.
Roy Tatum, he's a
I don't know his last name.
Yeah, Colton something, right? Colton blah, blah, blah. He's basically Channing Tatum, like half brother or cousin. He's very smooth, shiny skin, taut face, very tight, like lizard skin, but not like Pharrell, where it looks immortal and slippery, but just tight, very tight and shiny.
Very taut.
Very taut. Nobody taught him how to have that face. Oh, we need a pun counter, and then a lawsuit, like...
You just need, like, the little zing noises and go on the radio.
Boo! I actually, for the last one, I pulled up, like, a Nick Cage soundboard, but it had all of the like, lesser-known obscure ones, had nothing to do with what we were looking for. So it didn't quite work out.
Does anything Nick Cage have to do with anything?
Yeah. Oh, the bees! The bees! So good. I'm gonna steal Declaration of Independence. That's it. That's my best Nick Cage.
Yeah, it is very good. Very well done.
Halfway decent, right? I'll be gone in 60 seconds. that's I don't think he says that. Yeah, with Angie, Jolie, and him. Then also like I'm a ghost rider. Sold my soul to ride a ghost.
Oh my god, that movie. I remember seeing that in theaters, and I was just like, wow, this is very...
Yikes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is DC though, right? Ghost? No, it's Marvel. Marvel. Shame on me.
Yeah, it's Marvel.
Yeah. Yikes. Nice watch, by the way.
It's like a little too fantastical.
Fantastic Four.
It's yeah. It's on the Marvel side, the Hulks and the Thors.
Oh god. They were okay. Yeah.
Arrow, okay.
Arrow.
Movies now. Let's stick to the TV.
Right. So Arrow.
Here.
Overall, like, what would you say are like your top 3 takeaways for Arrow? We kind of did, a very rough overview of some of the bits and pieces, but if people don't know about it already, they should really check out some trailers or some best of clips. But really, I say start from the beginning. But yeah, your maybe top 3, 4.
Okay. Well. I mean, as I mentioned, it's very unlike your typical superhero flick with the whole. It starts off very rough. He's not a hero.
Yeah.
So it's really, and you really get to see beginning to end that evolution of the hero. Very, very cool process to follow.
Big arc.
And as you mentioned with the stunts and everything, there are some scenes that are a little corny, but overall very well choreographed.
Yeah.
Very well choreographed with the fight scenes.
And everything sets itself up really well. Like things that come up in episode 1 pay off later, like season 2, season 3.
There's definitely a lot of callbacks to earlier seasons, earlier episodes that really pay off in the end. So I would say those are my top 3 to that show.
Yeah, love the action, love the story, and love like all the setups and the. I think, like we mentioned with the soap opera element too, the acting isn't half bad. I mean, it feels a little hammed up.
It was a very huge surprise, given that it's a CW show.
Yeah.
Because
for the time,
after the first season, people, the real fanboys, they'd be raving about it. They would say, "Oh, the show Arrow is actually really good."
Right.
And you'd be like, "Oh, cool. What channel is it?" And it's like, "Oh, it's CW." And you'd be like,
"Yeah, I know. Family drama? You mean? No.
Netflix? Yeah.
Do they not want it?" At the time, like that was a huge thing, but like. Now with the Flash and everything else, I don't know if we want to go there next, but it's been picking up.
Well, I will say this. We can get to the Flash. However, based on what we just said, I do want to transition quickly into a new show I just started.
Yes, please.
because based on like terrible TV channels, but actual good shows. I don't know if you're yet familiar with the show Mr. Robot.
Everyone's been recommending that, and I've been so bad.
It's very good.
Dang it.
It's actually crazy. It's a show on USA Network, which again is kind of like
Why? Yeah.
Really? But no, it's great. I haven't finished the first season. It only just went up on Amazon Prime like less than a week ago, I think.
Nice.
And I think I'm about 8, 9 episodes in. Without giving away too much about it, I mean, it's basically just a lot of, hackers.
I've heard it compared to The Matrix a little bit.
Not so much with because Matrix is very much action, but I would say
ideas
to the point where I'm at. I would say it's basically the TV show version of Fight Club, which, as you probably will remember, is my favorite movie.
Yeah, buddy.
It's very Fight Club oriented.
Psychological.
It's one guy, very socially awkward, doesn't really fit into society, ends up joining this group that is really determined to eliminate the world debt through chaos. So it's very Fight Club-esque.
Very modern.
Where I'm at, it's very well acted. You have a lot of C and D list actors. You do have Kristen Slater thrown in there.
Whoa.
Yeah, very very cool.
Legend.
Other film buffs might be familiar with Portia Doubleday at this point.
Yeah.
She has some good stuff out there, but she's still kind of an unknown in Hollywood. But excellent actress, and even the people, the other actors in the show that are basically no names, very very well,
like executed.
Very well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's crazy
Definitely
because
something worth checking out.
Yeah, people have been recommending it to me, even professors like back in school for like 6 months or so now. Like back when it first came out, there was a lot of hype, and I was kind of hesitant. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's extremely critically acclaimed, which is why I had to wait till it got to the end of the first season to see if it held up. But I mean, it did, and I was determined to check it out at that point. I mean, because you get a crappy channel put out a good show. I mean, you got to check it out eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's getting like easier to open up a little bit more when we're seeing that, like them breaking the mold, like USA AMC years back with Breaking Bad, Walking Dead. Yeah, that really set the mold for TV, and then you had True Detective and all these other things come out, HBO.
Yeah, HBO is so consistent with their television. I mean, you're never really surprised when they put out a hit. But
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. We will get into that. I would probably say we have to put that at the end, and we gotta
spoilers.
A little spoiler counter for when stuff about that. You can never really talk anything about Game of Thrones. It's not okay to talk publicly at all.
Can I even say that Jon Snow knows nothing? Is that safe? Probably not even that, right?
Probably not. Way to go.
Sorry.
Thinking that he knows everything, Kristian. Come on.
Dang it. I screwed up, man. That's one for me. Might be. But speaking of TV shows like that, I know True Detective. I don't know if you watched it, but Josh, our good buddy Josh, he wrangled me into it, and I just made my brother rewatch it as soon as we got back home here. So, I became obsessed with that show. The execution, I didn't think HBO could do that shorter form stuff. I know Game of Thrones is a big saga, huge budget. The actors keep coming up, but this was only 8 episodes, and it felt like 20 hours of content, and I think that speaks to that quality.
Now, is it like an anthology? Like, I know it has multiple seasons. Is it different actors each time, different story, or?
Yeah, I know Josh liked both, but I'm going to probably get crucified for this maybe. I can't give season 2 a chance. Season 1 was so perfect. You got McConaughey talking about life is a flat circle. And it's so awesome. Like, he was a true detective before anyone paid him to be a true detective. Lincoln commercial, wherever. That's horrible. But yeah, no, it was so good that season 2 is so different, so like modern inner city drug lord gangs, and Vince Vaughn is, I guess, the warlord guy. So I don't know. I hear good things, but after season 1, I'm so stuck in that like down south, satanic cult investigation, crazy stuff, and drug use and all. It's very dark, so I couldn't give season 2 a chance, but I would really recommend season 1 of True Detective to anybody, even if it's just to hear that sweet McConaughey voice.
Yeah, my brother got really into it. When my brother gets into things, he's all over me about it. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
It's hard to keep up.
Hop on that bandwagon, but
Yeah.
I'm somebody who's like, it's really hard for me to get into like a brand new show unless I'm organically able to
Like stumble upon it.
gain that interest. If there's something
Yeah.
organic that comes about with it, that it's like, oh, now I really want to check that out. But,
Yeah, like I resisted.
I had that with True Detective. I've never really been like a crime person
Yeah.
or a McConaughey fan, but
Hey man, careful.
but I think one day when I don't
40.
know, get into a car crash and end up on the set
Hospital.
of Misery and
Oh,
to do,
Yeah.
probably end up
pop it
watching
in. Yeah. Yeah, I resisted it for like a couple years. I was like, this is, TV BS. It's not going to compete. Really, they're doing like TV now for movies, big actors. And I felt the same way about like Breaking Bad. I was one of the last people to watch it, just because I was like, these actors are turning to TV, and I wasn't sure how I felt about that. I bought into that Hollywood hypnosis machine, but it's done like super well now. Everyone's on TV over Hollywood now. Hollywood,
I think people are starting, or Hollywood at least, is starting to recognize that the real money is to be made on television. I mean, you get these movies and you pay actors like multi-million dollars for an hour at most of screen time,
Yeah.
and the payoff is nice. You get that big immediate gratification,
visuals and everything.
but unless it's like a classic, it doesn't really hold up financially. But I mean, you get these shows that can go on 6, 7, 8 seasons.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's not the fans paying you at that point. It's the I'm a marketer, so I know all about it. But
Yes, sir.
The advertisers. That's where the money comes from.
Yeah.
Advertising throughout the whole show.
The process.
That's really where the money's at.
That's actually a very...
What was that?
Yeah, that's actually a super genius point, because you are a marketer extraordinaire. You are graduated, degreed as a marketing special. You are the guy, and
But yeah, Hollywood producers are finding it more profitable just to dump all this money into contracts for these television shows that'll have that lasting power.
Yeah.
Than this one-off project.
And there's two things that are very interesting, especially today being the 4th, right? I know Independence Day Resurgence just came out, and that's two interesting things, because like you said, not only can they keep tailoring things to what would make them the most money, but also to what's bringing in that audience. They see the numbers every night, that it airs, or Netflix or whatever. They have the stats and the analytics, right, or whatever it's called, the analytics, and they can see, okay, what's making audiences drop off or jump on in huge numbers. So that's actually good for people who like the show. They're kind of having an input, what they will watch and what they won't. The creators see and the actors see, and everyone gets that feedback for years as it's going on, which you don't get that. I mean, it could make even a small acting choice change for an actor when he hears somebody on the street say, oh, I loved it when he did this. And then also for Hollywood, like, they're doing this thing, you're right, where they're spitting out now sequels of 20-year-old movies because they're out of content. Nobody really writes. It's not safe to take that risk on an original story with $60 million, but you can take a risk on like $10 million in TV over 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure if we wanted to get into The Flash, and maybe even some of the more obscure stuff that I still haven't, not obscure, but like the newer stuff like Daredevil, which shame on me, I still haven't gotten into.
Which I should just slap you
I
over.
know. Do it through the screen, it'll be hot. Did I go the right way? I can't tell.
I believe so.
Woo! Okay, let's do Flash first, and then you can educate me on Daredevil.
Let's do Flash.
So the Flash is about a streaker, a flasher who can run really fast. No, it's about
Streak.
it's another Detectives Comics hero. Who, if you don't know who he is, I don't know, move to Sri Lanka or something, which is a great country here. But just this isn't for you. But the Flash is a legendary hero from years and years and years of comic books and TV and episodes of like cartoons, Justice League, things like that. And he finally got a syndicated live action show. I know they had done one or two live action movies way back, maybe the 80s or late 70s, something weird, but nobody had any reference to those. So this show is really standalone, and it almost, when you first got me into it, it was right off of Arrow, and I think the only reason I got into it was because I liked Arrow so much. I wouldn't have given it a chance.
Yeah.
It's
I blamed you. It's
yeah.
It's definitely a little bit cornier with all the special effects, but
It seemed like hard to pull that off for TV with that kind of a budget, but actually, like, even after one episode, it held together really well. But I think what really hooked me was, maybe you can talk about this too, is the story isn't your typical, kind of like Arrow, but I think even more so, it's not your superhero, like Avengers style story. It's a lot more grounded, and it almost felt like a police drama, detective kind of squad show,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because Barry Allen, the Flash, before he becomes the Flash, he's actually a forensic scientist. So he's already got his roots in that police department, and he's not the only one to wake up with these powers after this accident at Star Labs where thing happened.
Like Super Collider.
Yeah, so so he's got his he's got his fingers on the pulse basically, on what's going around. So his friends at Star Lab can help track down these guys who are strangely enough, he's the only one actually using these powers for good. Everybody else,
funny,
power.
Which it kind of seems logical, right? Like there's a lot of crummy people out there, I guess, in a big city.
And I mean, and they all got powers, and it's like
there is a god,
and just made a mistake and was like, oh, I thought that Barry dude was kind of a jerk. I guess I was wrong.
Sorry.
Damn.
I'll return that money now.
Yeah, and it's just so it's just him against all these other terrible people, and then he will have these other people come to his aid, but they always almost turn out bad, and it's like they're really just working against them, and so it's really just him versus everybody.
There's a lot of tension, right? Because everyone, good for a while or bad always, like they always have their own motives, right? They're always self-driven, and I think something that keeps the show fresh and interesting is you would think it would be like kept fresh by the variety of powers or the variety of villains, but it's actually kind of like Arrow, where it's more the internal situations that keep it dramatic and fresh. And I know there's a lot of there's a lot of spoilers that can be given away just in season 1, but there's a Reverse Flash who kind of is the main focus, and then we do figure out that there's a lot more going on under the surface, even in Barry's own team and his own city, than just, okay, powers now exist in this universe. What are the issues there? So that's what I really like. It's very real life. And we should talk about the thing that I was really amazed with, which I feel like we time traveled from the 90s where we wish this stuff would happen, like where one character would go and interact with another one. They do crossovers.
Used to only exist in like Christmas specials and things
right?
Like that.
Yeah. Kiss meets Star Wars in The Flash too. Electric Boogaloo. But no, it was so crazy. They actually do crossover episodes with Arrow. And they're not like cheesy, hammy episodes. And they actually matter in the straight show of either one.
Yeah, and they definitely matter, because just like Arrow, how I mentioned, it's really, watching the development of a hero. Same can be said for Barry. I mean, and Arrow comes in not really so much as, oh hey, I'm another superhero, maybe we should help each other out. But, no, it's really the fact that Arrow, that show had progressed significantly before the Flash even began.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of development on his end and also a lot of conflict. So he would come in and he'd say, you know, basically, you don't know how to be a hero. You know, you haven't faced the things I've faced, but you will eventually. And so it's really a mentor sort of situation to start it off to, really teach the Flash how to be the Flash, even though, the Arrow never really had powers, so it's completely different for him. So it's really teaching him the situational awareness of what it takes to be a hero.
Yeah, they do. It does a lot with both story development and, like you said, like the characters also. Like you see Ollie kind of soften a little bit with Barry, like, okay, he shouldn't be so hard up on everything. He doesn't have to kill people, he doesn't have to take things to extremes. And then you see Barry also, like, realizing people may die if he doesn't do his job too. So it's that coin, those two sides of a coin.
There was also a point during one of the crossovers where Barry had gotten so good at being the Flash. Like, he was like, what's
so
really
good.
He got so arrogant.
Yeah.
And I know you will attest to it. I know we had a discussion about the Flash basically being indestructible.
God. Yeah.
He's a god.
Yeah, can I go off on that tangent?
Yes, I will let you go. But I will
allow it.
What comes with being a guy is that arrogance and, not really seeing what's behind you because you're always just looking ahead. And, so that's really the sort of development that Arrow came in to facilitate. So
yeah, to take those blinders off. Yeah, but here's my God tangent, right? Why the Flash is crazy. And I can't remember where I heard this, but it was a comic book podcast, basically with some, like, people talking with creators and insiders. And there was a guy who had illustrated a lot of these early DCC heroes, sorry. And he did this encyclopedia type of book where it's just illustrations and it's set in the future. And basically you keep flipping through and every hero is like basically depressed or destroyed or, kind of downtrodden, tattered up. And in the background of all of those are giant monuments to the Flash. And all of those heroes, like even Superman kind of trudging along, but the Flash everywhere. And he talked about it, and I think it was the illustrator of the Flash, or one of the first, and he explained basically that the Flash is like the god of the universe. He is the most powerful hero, because his power, if you really think about it, and I love the show because it kind of gets into that quantum state of things, is he has the power over speed, and speed is space and time, which is everything that is everything in everything. The whole universe is space and time, right? The interaction of space and time. And if the Flash has power over space and time, he has power over the whole cosmos, everything that exists. So he can warp into people, he can time travel forward or back, he can multiply himself, he can go into your atoms and destroy you, he can vibrate at the same speed as things and blend in, bullets can go through him, he can go around the world so fast that he goes through himself, he can affect time. I think eventually in the comics he gets some crazy powers in some arcs, but that's also why they use the symbol of the lightning bolt, because way back that was a symbol for, like, Lucifer falling from heaven as a lightning bolt striking the earth, because he was from, like, the realm of God. He had the powers of a god, so that's why the Flash, that's my Flash tangent. He's OP. Take that, Superman.
And I know you probably haven't even reached this point in the Flash, because again, you're super behind on everything.
Yeah.
But in the most recent season of The Flash, it's kind of a corny moment, but it will, attest to what you're saying, where there was a little bit of experimentation going on with the Flash and his speed.
Speed Force?
Trying to get faster, and he actually enters the Speed Force.
Yes!
Yeah, so
God mode.
In sort of like a limbo type of space and time, and he's talking to the Speed Force, and it's weird. It's very strange, but again, it's like it's only something that he would have had that ability.
Yeah.
And they're talking to him, like the manifestations of the Speed Force are telling him, like, that he's the chosen one for the Speed Force, that they're gonna give him the power to do whatever it is.
Just speed it up.
Speed it up.
Speed it up, ketamine. No, don't do that. Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's in contact with, I guess, right, not maybe a father god type of thing, but like a Holy Spirit, right, a force
Right.
that's out there. It is trippy, right? Metaphysical, religious. Yeah. Dang, totally recommend the show. Like, if our,
Check out.
yeah,
It's all the same reasons for why to check it out are basically the same as Arrow. I
yeah.
mean, it's cool.
It holds together so well. And yeah, like if our little like talk here hasn't like motivated you, what's gonna do it, man? Watch some clips and jump in. Season 1, episode 1. Do it. Do yourself a
There's
favor.
that comment section below, man.
Yeah,
Start
comment,
talking it up.
like, favorite, retweet, hashtag, Insta, screen it, or screen post it, pixelate, and yeah, just go on some dirty websites and tag us, flag us. Yes, do it all. Tweet at us.
I think we should talk a little bit about Daredevil. We talked a lot
Yes.
about superhero stuff, but I'll speak briefly about Daredevil
Right.
and Jessica Jones as a whole.
And why I need to watch both. Jessica
Yeah.
Jones, I saw some clips.
Yes, well, both. I mean, what's really crazy is that they're both Netflix shows, which is
Yes.
this new breed of television that we're now getting into. That's
Empire.
It's been very promising. It's and because money's being dumped into it like it's a a blockbuster movie.
Yes.
The production value is fantastic. The Daredevil alone, the choreography of the fight scenes in that, it's like Arrow for one. Good fight scenes. Well
Yeah.
choreographed.
More stunt.
Daredevil blows it out of the water. It's so crazy.
It's like watching a street fight.
Yeah,
It's
and
insane.
continuous, and like they make it so it seems like a continuous shot too. So
Yes.
it's not like a bunch of camera cuts. It's
When you showed me that, I wanted to like inject that scene into my veins. That was like
yeah.
that it feels like some kind of like Hong Kong like cinema style fight. Hardcore.
I think that was only like episode 2. Like it was very
Yes.
yeah, you don't have to wait for the cool stuff to start. It's
Yeah.
right off the bat, and what's really crazy about these, Daredevil, Jessica Jones things, really taking off is the fact that they're not, household superhero names. I mean,
Right.
there are people who know of Ben Affleck's terrible and acting
Movie.
movie, I guess we'll
Movie.
call it. And like, oh, that
Move on over.
fighting people.
Yeah.
But the show does what no movie can do. It does so much more justice to the character. It provides so much more depth and detail to what this character really is. How why and how he became a hero.
Yeah, they have that room with so many episodes to stretch out that depth. Like, how do you explore this character, his choices? And you're right, the audience gets to see all those layers, and those layers keep building as the season goes. And also something interesting for Jessica Jones especially, and I'm not sure Daredevil, is with that bigger budget. Well, not only in Netflix, you get the whole season day one that it's released, which is
It's great.
a miracle, right?
It's a miracle for
Yeah.
binge watchers today, and it's the evolution of television. And people know that's what people want.
Yeah. If it's
And-
possible, do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's watching on your own time. It's not having to schedule your life around the TV guide. It's really maybe you're busy on Tuesday, you don't want to miss that show, but you have Saturday completely open. You can
Yeah.
throw on 10 episodes if you want.
And make some hot pockets.
Hey,
Yeah. And the thing is too, like, it doesn't necessarily mean TV goes away that's like week by week. For some shows that works, like if it's more serial, like True Detective, Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, it's nicer to have it, the suspense of waiting a week.
and again we'll get back to the marketing thing.
Right, yeah.
I can't even remember what the theory is called, but it's like it basically it applies to stores, but customers would be more satisfied with their purchase the longer they have to wait for it.
Ah.
So if you're in line to buy whatever,
Yeah.
that line's super long, it's dreadful waiting in that line. But when you actually get to the front, you cash out, you hit the road, you're so much more satisfied with your purchase. Because you've endured that wait. You've
Dopamine.
You're ready to, get that gratification.
Dang, bringing that bro science, that real university certified mother loving science into this, man. That's why this
soft psychology.
We're Talksploring scientifically here, man. This is it, certified. Yeah. But
so I mean, I always argue all the time, like people, because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan.
Yes, sir.
Seasons are only 10 episodes long. There's never a week off with them. With HBO for any show, they never take a week off, make you wait an extra week. So it's always boom, 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 boom.
On demand.
People will argue like, "Oh, I'll just wait till the season's over and I'll just binge it."
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy because I love the wait, because a show like Game of Thrones, where there's so much suspense at the end of like every episode,
right?
You're just itching to know like what's next. Like that feeling up like to the end of that episode all the way to you have to wait a whole week for the next one. Like it's, it really makes that water cooler talk really flourish.
Oh my God! And yeah, let's close on Game of Thrones then, because we have this last little chunk here. This is we could talk for 20 hours straight on just Game of Thrones, and I have to thank you and Joe also, right, for bringing me into the cult of Game of Thrones, but it's so worth it.
Where are you in the show? I don't even know where you're at.
I am, for no spoilers, I will give a weird, loose description after.
You should put in a little graphic somewhere, like, little...
Yeah, well, wah.
Spoilers coming, I don't know.
Yeah. So these are the spoilers. I'll throw it in post. That'll be sick. So spoilers. Okay, Game of Thrones. I'm at the part where the Ice King from Adventure Time resurrects everyone after that crazy battle with the giants.
Hardhome.
Yes.
It's easily the best episode.
That's like one of the top 10, 15 things I've seen on TV ever, I think. Like, just the way they executed it.
It was so well executed. Just
crisp.
How it was just so completely calm. It was really the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
With Jon meeting with all the wildlings. And then all of a sudden, you hear like people screaming, and they close up the gate, and there's people just banging on the gate, and then that snowy fog gets to the gate, and then they're all just gone.
Yeah.
And you just get that feeling like shit's about to hit the fan. Like,
and it does.
My language, but it's what happened. It's we were all thinking it. It's.
Yeah, that was maybe the most insane episode of a show I've seen in the past year.
And I mean, and what's even crazier is that the next season, which you're not currently at, but I'm constantly on IG and Snapchat seeing how they're ranking, stuff.
Yeah.
That's always something they do on their Snapchat.
Khaleesi.
But, the last 2 episodes, which were absolutely fantastic, people are actually rating them ahead of Hardhome, which I be impossible because Hardhome was so well done. And I still hold it as the best Game of Thrones episode to this point.
It felt like a Hollywood movie battle.
I will tell you this, and what was really crazy about this past season, I'm going to jump in. I'm not going to spoil anything for you because I am a saint. I never spoil Game of Thrones for anybody. I don't even talk about it in public. I'll hear Game of Thrones. I know everything that happens, but I'll just call you out. I'm like, hey, shut your mouth. You don't know who hasn't seen this yet.
You're a priest.
I am a saint.
Yeah.
But yeah, so without giving anything away for season 6, I mean, I was most of the way in. There was, up through episode 8, I was ready to write it off as probably not the greatest Game of Thrones season to this point. There had been one really good episode that really moved me almost to cry. I said when people make references to it, I want to hit the face.
I know what you're talking about, sadly.
I
know.
but
But
And
then,
I was ready to write off the season because not much was really happening, nothing really significant. It just seemed like a building episode,
yeah,
building up all this
puttering along.
that was happening. But then these last two episodes came along and completely saved the season. Like
Payoff.
it was a huge payoff, and even and Game of Thrones, I feel like episode 10 is usually weak in every season. I mean, there are some good episode 10s, but it's usually
Wow.
one of the weaker episodes because
Mm-hmm.
you're just trying to wrap things up and still
Yeah.
leave things open ended. But the way this one was done was so incredibly done. Things still happened in the beginning, and they left so much open at the end where it hit the fan. And I said that earlier, and that's the thing about Game of Thrones is
Yeah.
it just continuously hits the fan, and you think you've already hit it. All right, that's
Yeah. The walls are dirty.
oh, you blow through that ceiling into the next floor and you hit that fan too. You just keep hitting all the way up the tower here.
Wow. I'm a big
It's-
fan. Ugh. That was weak.
It's a journey.
Dang, son. What? So I hear now the show is officially ahead of the books,
Yes.
which
Yeah,
is
I believe the
crazy.
next-
Explain that.
I mean, he wrote. I don't even know how many books. I don't really mess with books.
10 billion, I think. Roughly.
Yeah, but he wrote some of the books, and then I think he realized that the show was something special. I don't
Yeah.
quote me on this. I doubt
Right.
he ever said anything, but I can tell he sees there's something special about the show, and he doesn't want any more. He doesn't want to spoil anybody anymore. He wants to. I think he wants the show to where it needs to be before he has to cut
Pass
any
away.
more book details.
Right.
What?
Well, that sounds horrible, right? But no, there was, I guess, talk of him like giving some of the creative team ideas of where to take it in case something happened to him. Like weird,
Right.
obsessive
And he's
security.
an old, kind of obese guy.
Yeah, yeah. We're tackling TV health next time too.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We could. Oh no, but yeah, next time we might have a gaming talk, you and I, because this may be a little off topic, but Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Witcher.
I can't even play Dark Souls.
Ah,
I'm not good enough at games.
let me tell you something.
It's a gamer's game.
Remember, I haven't played games in like decades. I would just like, well, not decades, right? I haven't been a lot, but years and years and years. But I pick them up real well. I don't know why. Genetically, I feel like my brothers and I were really good. I picked up Dark Souls, and I didn't die until like the 4th boss. Not once. I didn't lose my first Ember. Now I'm over level 100. Beast mode, Pyromancer, best build. And I'm just destroying. Oh, I wreck people online, wherever. Challenge me. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I stopped playing it because I lost interest, but I'm almost through the game. I'm on the last boss, so it is,
Souls 3?
yeah, Dark Souls 3, baby. I'm a beast.
So you got all the way through the 4th boss without dying. That's crazy. I feel
Yeah.
like that's not even.
I should have like recorded it. It was crazy. I died on some random foe. Like I thought I could take him, but then it ended up being a little too much for me. I had like no health left out of my Estus flasks. It's been a couple weeks. Right, I'm hard into that Witcher now though. Witcher 3. It kind of sucks, but.
You say Witcher 3 sucks?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing nobody told me. It's really, really fun and really good for the first like arc, and there's like I think a couple hundred hours of gameplay. It's super sick, but
It's like endless.
you can't level up from enemies. You can only level up from side quests, which is annoying to no end. And you get all these powers, but you can only wear like 8 at a time. They're like upgrades you put on yourself. So it leaves a bad taste, but it's fun. It's really fun to play, but you're kind of so limited and you can't grind at it. Which Dark Souls, by the way, also to my street cred, I picked the like naked savage class where you just start with a club and a loincloth, no armor, level 1, all this stuff, and I destroyed the first boss in 3 tries. I died 3 times, but I nailed it, and now I'm OP, but it's not actually as good as the Pyromancer build, but that's neither here nor there. Dark Souls 3, challenge me. Find me on the street. I will fight you.
Oh my God.
Dark Souls 3. But yes, Game of Thrones. Like, I know it's so big and it's such a phenomenon, right? Like pop culture, crazy. But what would you say are, like Arrow and Flash, your top maybe 3 or 4 or 5 for this one. Like biggest things for somebody who has never watched it, or for somebody who feels like maybe they've seen some episodes and they feel like they can't get into it. What would you say to somebody like that who maybe knows a little from talk or watching some clips, but doesn't really know the nudity and the power of the show, how great it is?
I would definitely say this for anybody who watches this video who has not watched Game
It's
of
like 2
Thrones.
people. It's fine. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if anybody's even not seen Game of Thrones yet, it's really just you and my parents. But
Yep.
what I tell everybody when I'm trying to get them into Game of Thrones is just watch the first season. Yeah, that's a 10-hour commitment.
I mean, a baby's longer, like this is easier than having a baby, I think.
And I mean, because I will admit to people who have trouble getting into it. The first few episodes are tough. They're tough. They're slow. There's a lot of people with weird names that you just have zero chance of remembering. But it's you just gotta grind through, because by the end of the first season, you will be hooked. It's tough not to be hooked after the
So worth it.
It's so worth it.
Yeah.
It's really a living organism, if that's not too poetic.
Ooh, not here.
It's constantly changing.
Yeah.
There's not a single plot line. There's a single goal.
Yeah.
That pretty much every character in the show has, but they all, they might not be actively going for it. They're not always going against each other to that goal. They have a whole bunch of different drives and circumstances they all need to address. But and I'm sure this is not a spoiler at any point now. I feel like even pretty much everybody who has even heard about Game of Thrones has also heard that there is no loyalty to characters.
Nope.
You will lose your favorite characters, and you'll never see it coming.
Nope.
You never see it coming, and you will literally get very mad about it.
Yeah.
This really ties into the the whole binging versus being current issue, because I feel like people who binge, they don't get that emotional connection
right
as intensely as the people who are current with the show, because who have to deal with the grief for, 7 days before the next episode shine some hope on their life.
Not possible.
It seems so impossible at times, but
we cry, we get through it.
Yeah. And the people who binge, they're like, oh, what the hell, and then they go to the next episode,
and it's over.
And forget it, it's over for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you pace it out, you will literally. I would say if you watch an episode and you feel heartbroken at the end of it, stop right there.
Yeah.
Wait tomorrow to pick it back up. Because
spend some time with the characters. Yeah, really invest.
Because
ask them out, Natalie Dormer.
All they want is to be loved.
Yeah, me too.
but that's the thing. It's not even characters you love that leave. It's all characters. They all disappear. And that's why it's a
organic whole. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's you think the story's about this person, then something happens, and now it's about this person and these people, and it's the people who are in the story now. Barely any of them started.
That's true.
You can see a lot of them first season, first episode. They're all, and I don't want to make it seem like it's just a revolving door of characters. It's
hot
not.
People. It's a revolving door of hot people.
Yeah.
Hot door.
I was watching this thing last night that was they were talking about the last episode that they just premiered, and it was all the setup stuff, all the technical work, and I have it on my Snapchat right now. I don't know if you watched it, but Emilia Clarke, who plays Daenerys, was going into the set room for her their like throne room, and just very you know what's the word I'm looking for
Like
here?
nostalgic,
No. It was very
like quirky.
satirical almost.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
goes in, she's like, "Welcome to my crib,"
Stop.
and I just thought it was hilarious because she put on,
Dang.
she's English, but she put on that American accent to really get
Yeah.
a white girl.
They're also
That is
British.
the old crib show,
Valley Girl.
MTV Cribs. Those were the days. But
Dang. Yeah, I will say this too. Like, I resisted it for the longest time, but it's because I thought it was like a Lord of the Rings type of show, you know? But no, oh my, there's something for everyone. There's like action, martial arts, fighting, sorcerers, psychic powers, weird shadow creatures, beasts, dragons,
and what I hear all the time,
armies.
like, why aren't you watching Game of Thrones? They're like, oh, I heard it's like dragons and stuff.
Yeah.
Some magic. I'm not really that kind of guy. But it's like that literally happens maybe like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Of the season. Like,
Oh my god, you could get so caught up.
what the show's about. They're in the show,
Yeah.
sure, but that's not what it's about.
This show probably comes closest to hitting like every genre.
It
Like,
hits everything.
there's commerce, there's intrigue, court romance, like all of this. So we're about to wrap up, but one thing I did want to talk about, well, I don't have time for it, but I know on Netflix it's only one season for now, but Marco Polo, I binge watched it in one night, which was crazy, but so worth it. I'm like a big martial arts fan, and this was like cool East meets West, like history and story. There's a lot of gore, sick battles, and a lot of cool like effects and you know a lot of history. So that's a pretty fun one. But yeah, Game of Thrones. I would even me like not caught up was super resistant to it. I have to give it a 10 out of 10. I mean,
It's a 10
it's
out of 10.
it's as close to a perfect show. And so I think on that, any final word on Game of Thrones before we go,
On Game of Thrones
or
I do not
TV?
know else. However, I do want to say I'll actually throw this in for our buddy Josh Ayers.
Yes.
Because he didn't tell me to say this, but I know he'll want me to. I think starting July. What day is it? What day? I want to say 17.
Woo.
17th. Toonami will be airing the dubbed version of one. I know it's one of Josh's favorite shows. One Punch Man.
Yes. No way.
Because I was resistant to what I watched a few episodes in the English subtitle one, but I'm really excited for the dub.
Yeah. No, I love the sub. I love the sub. Baka na? Nande yo?
I'm really excited to see.
Oh my god.
Turns out because
Yeah.
from what I've seen so far, it's hilarious.
Yeah, my brother made me watch it, and I swear every episode, like when that theme song comes on, I'm not that type of guy, but like I want to go join like a mosh pit or something like that. I don't know, I want to go crazy, man. It's so much action, and it's so like ridiculously over the top punch things till there's nothing to punch.
It's the definition of over the top.
This is a bro show, yeah, and we have to do an anime / like because I know we wanted to cover more TV like Adventure Time, some of the stuff on. Yeah, Cartoon Takeover.
We gotta follow this up in a different one.
Yes.
Once you are current on pretty much everything. But
Yeah.
Game of Thrones especially, so we could talk like, and we got a whole year until the next
Right.
season anyway. But just so we can start like beginning to where we're at now of everything that's happened
Yeah.
and all these callback. Oh, we could have so much.
Oh my
fun.
god, we got to get Joe in on this, do a multi-screen, and then party it up.
And his army base there.
Yeah, I think he might still be around. So we're gonna get a hold of Joe physically, and we're gonna do this. So thank you, Jamie, the freshest prince ever. Thank you, everyone watching. Yeah, Bel Air it up, man. This has been Talksploration, chit-chatting TV, and to take us all out, I think I know what we need here. We started off fresh as we can get, and now we have to end on maybe one of the greatest themes of like modern television. Spoiler alert, it's addictive. Is that a spoiler? No, it's a medical recommendation.
Will Smith come back to television.
Yeah. Here it is, man. Nailed it. Signing out. Inside joke, yeah. But yeah, that's it, everyone. And we got to thank everyone. And we'll see you next time on Talksploration. Deuces. Do 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 do.